Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to our special series, Inspirational Brands Make in India. Through this series, we put the spotlight on businesses from different verticals that are contributing significantly to the government's Make in India mission.
Founded in 1985 by former journalist turned entrepreneur R.K. Sinha, SIS Group came at a time when organized security services were unheard of. A social entrepreneurial venture at the onset, SIS Group was formed to reintegrate ex-servicemen in the security services business. Today, the group is established as the second largest and fastest growing security company in India, with strong leadership positions in facility management services and cash logistics, offering a diverse portfolio of services to industries across B2B, B2G, and B2C. Rituraj Sinha is the Group Managing Director of SIS Group, who joined the family business in 2002. A dynamic leader with sharp business acumen and expertise, Rituraj has redefined the boundaries of his family business and turned it into a leading security services giant in domestic as well as international markets.
And now I'm in conversation with Rituraj Sinha, the man who's leading SIS Group today, a group that's a market leader in security services, in cash logistics management, and in facilities management in India as well as Australia. Rituraj, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
This is a 33-year-old company. You joined about 16 years ago. How different has the journey of the last 16 been from almost the first 16?
Well, SIS has been a fantastic journey. I think SIS was started by my father, Mr. R.K. Sinha, a first-generation entrepreneur more than 3 decades back. It started off as a social enterprise. The idea was to basically rehabilitate ex-servicemen post the 1971 Indo-Pak conflict. He used to be a war correspondent and subsequently decided to turn entrepreneur and place these young ex-servicemen into security roles. At that point in time, there wasn't much of an industry. I think starting from there, I think SIS has really evolved. I joined in 2002. At that point in time, SIS was a 25 crore entity. As of 31 March 2018, we reported almost 5,800 crores in revenue and 170,000 strong employee base. But essentially, at the core, the company remains a social enterprise.
25 crores to 5,800 crores, that's a phenomenal growth story. So if you look back, what would you say are the 1 or 2 biggest turning points or milestones that really changed the trajectory for the company?
I think a big turning point for us was to find capital. I think, as we started, to expand SIS, put up more branches and open up new customer verticals and things like that, we were really capital starved. So, we started to pursue the private equity operators, and it took us 2 years' time. But in 2007, we became the first company in the security services space to raise private equity funding through DE Shaw. And that was a big turning point. Then in 2008, we went and acquired Chubb Security in Australia. That marked the first cross-border M&A by an Indian entity. Right. So that was sort of changed the structure of the organization and our drawing board a little bit. Yes. And then in 2010 onwards, we started to diversify beyond security, trying to convert our platform into a security, cash logistics, and facility management multi-service platform.
What's the sort of M&A activity that we can expect from SIS in the near future?
M&A has been a part of our strategy. In the last 2 years itself, we have acquired 3 different companies, DTSS and in facility management, and SSMS in cash logistics, and SXP Southern Cross Protection in Australia. So, we acquire for strategic reasons, to consolidate our market position in a geography or to gain penetration in a particular service segment.
Right.
That is, we are not fully represented in. So M&A continues to be a large part of our play, but our growth numbers are not going to be entirely dependent on M&A.
All right. And you decided to expand into Australia. So why Australia in the first place? Why that geography in particular? And how different is it doing business in this segment in Australia as compared to India?
When we saw an opportunity to acquire Chubb Security, which was the #1 security company in Australia in 2008, we went after it hammer and tongs, and we converted that opportunity. Today, we are proud of the fact that SIS is not only a market leader in India, in Australia, we have 21% market share in the security services segment. We have almost $600 million plus revenue. Since we bought the company in 2008, the revenues of our Australian operations have more than doubled. So I think Australia has been a very good investment. But other than that, it's also a very strategic investment.
Right. How different are the challenges in Australia?
Well, it's a far more mature market. I think the labor regulation there is far more evolved. The technology uptake is definitely higher. Customers are more keen to buy solutions than commodity.
Right.
So I think the need for specialization in Australia is far deeper.
Right. And as far as facilities management is concerned, what is the portfolio of services that you offer there?
We are already India's #3 and fastest growing facility management service provider. Facility management as a segment is contributing more than 10% of our consolidated revenues now. We offer a gamut of services ranging from janitorial, housekeeping, mechanized cleaning, to even advanced hard FM services like electrical, plumbing, HVAC maintenance and other things. So I think it's a very composite solution. It's a very essential part of maintenance of any facility, whether it's a corporate park or it's a railway station, a facility, a convenience around a highway. I think it's a very, very essential component of infrastructure maintenance and management. And we see a great future for FM going forward.
Okay. Let's also talk a little bit about cash logistics management. How big is the opportunity here in India? What is your USP? And really, what's the biggest challenge in that segment?
Overall, I think it's a little bit of a rough patch for the cash logistics segment. But having said that, if you see the latest trends, the currency in circulation has gone up. The ATM transactions are back to pre-demonetization levels. The government has introduced 200 rupee currency notes and other denomination currency notes, so the cash velocity is likely to go up. So overall, the indicators are positive. I think we will see a little bit of rough weather with the implementation of the RBI regulations, but that's for the better.
What is your revenue mix like? What percentage comes from facility management? What percentage comes from the other?
The predominant part of our business continues to be security.
Right.
Almost 85% plus of our revenues come from security. And like I said, FM is the second biggest component with more than 11%. Cash is the third segment. But then again, across security, cash and FM, we hold very strong market position.
The government's mission is to make India a global manufacturing hub. As a group, as one of the leading groups in your space, how are you poised to contribute to that mission? And secondly, what's really your message to the government as far as improving ease of doing business here?
Let me put it very simply. If any manufacturing activity was to commence, whether government activity to build highway or a metro station, or private manufacturing activity of an auto sector or another sector, the first thing that goes in is the camera and the security guard.
Right.
you could not start any activity in manufacturing or construction or any economic activity without first putting your security in place. The second thing is, as soon as you build that infrastructure, security is a continuing feature. As your manufacturing establishment grows and thrives, you need to top up your security and make it more efficient. At the same time, you will need some kind of facility management services for general upkeep, just basic maintenance or cleaning or janitorial services. Right. So what we do essentially is very closely entwined with the India growth story.
Right. All right. On that note, we're going to head into a short break right now, but stay with us as the conversation continues on the other side, right here on Inspirational Brands Make in India on CNBC TV 18.
Setting new standards of excellence, SIS provides extensive support to major corporations across various sectors, individuals and homeowners with solutions to safeguard and manage their assets. These services span across security, facility management services and cash logistics in partnership with international leaders like Prosegur, Service Master and Terminix to promote innovation and best business practices within the group. The portfolio of security services includes security design and solutions, controlled video surveillance for constant monitoring, fire safety, event security, VIP protection and more with integrated technology solutions and allied services. The facility management service supports the daily needs of its customers and offers services ranging from various housekeeping services, technical facility management and pest control services. Under the cash logistics operations, the group offers diverse and efficient services like cash in transit, doorstep banking, ATM-related services and cash vaulting services amongst others.
Welcome back. You're watching our special series, Inspirational Brands Make in India. And on the show today, I'm in conversation with Rituraj Sinha, the Managing Director of SIS Group. Rituraj, securities is a highly competitive segment, isn't it? So take us through how tough is competition in security services here in India as well as in Australia where you operate. And secondly, how big is the opportunity for the future?
Well, security services in India is growing through a big patch of transformation, like a revolution of sorts. And this revolution is coming through almost two different ideas, two-pronged revolution, if I can call it that. The first one is very aggressive formalization. In the last few years with the enforcement of PASARA regulation, Private Security Act regulation, the enforcement of guidelines for better training and standards, then the Provident Fund, ESI and other security, social security benefit enforcement. Very, very aggressive formalization is happening in the sector. Right. More than 70% of the sector continues to be in the hands of local unorganized operators. I think that is drastically going to change in the next few years. Right. India is going to become more like Australia, where 70% of the sector is in the hands of organized operators and not the other way around. Right. So India is moving towards formalization in the next 3 to 5 years. That's going to be a big, big opportunity. The second aspect of this transformation is movement away from commodity into solutions.
Right. And yours is a very labor-intensive sector. So how challenging is it to find skilled manpower? And secondly, what's the sort of training that you put all these people through before they're fit to function for a critical service like security?
The fundamental advantages of SIS has been our supply chain. In 1982, we set up our first residential training academy. Today, we have 19 residential training academies with a capacity to recruit, train, and third-party certify 25,000 personnel each year. This is the largest in the industry. So we have been investing in R&T, recruitment and training, just as a pharma company would invest in R&D. What we are doing now is we are trying to take training away from the training academy to the customer site.
Right.
We have recently launched
on the job, sort of.
more on the job. So we have recently launched a proprietary training application platform called mTrainer, which allows us to actually deliver training at customer site using tabs and mobile phones where customized content can be downloaded and delivered. We're also encouraging our workforce, janitors and guards, to learn on the go, right? So we're encouraging them to download the mTrainer application and learn through videos, short demo videos, and gamify that a little bit for them to give right answers and win prizes. So we're trying to innovate the way we deliver training. Right. But going back, training has always been core to our development, and we continue to invest in training.
You are leveraging technology on the training front. What other areas of business are really leveraging new age emerging technologies in a big way?
Across the group, we are actually running a BPR exercise. We are trying to use more and more technology at the back end to increase our operating leverage. I mean, right from our recruitment, we've implemented a proprietary software called ARC, which allows us to do standardized recruitment and background checks, antecedent verifications in quick time with great amount of quality assurance. I spoke to you about mTrainer, which is our training solution. Then there is IOPS, which is the operation management platform where we've essentially made the entire operating process paperless. All day checks, night checks, client reportings, all the other data generation that is required for operations completely is happening on the mobile back end. Right. So we've done a lot of technology used for internal productivity, internal controls, and essentially improving the quality of service and experience for the customer.
So let's talk a little bit about numbers. 5,800 crores of annual sales turnover achieved. What are you projecting for this year? What's the growth rate that you're looking at?
SIS is largely a growth and ROCE story. It's a very capital light business model. It's a recurring revenue business. It generates fairly healthy cash flows. So overall, we believe that going forward, we want to continue our trajectory of close to 25% growth, right, and 25% plus return on capital employed, with at least a 50% plus OCF to EBITDA, operating cash flow to EBITDA ratio. So as long as we are delivering on these parameters, I think we will hold good. Yeah.
All right. Good luck for that. But from here on, what's your vision for the next decade of the company? Where do you want to take it from here?
Well, I think next decade is a little bit too far out. I think what I could tell you is that the immediate, our Vision 2020, which was announced in 2015 end, our Vision 2020 is about becoming India's largest security company, largest cash logistics company, and largest facility management company.
How close are you to achieving that vision?
Well, we are number 2 in security, like I said, number 2 in cash.
How much is the gap?
Well, the gap is not very large now. It's much smaller than what it used to be in 2015. So I could say with confidence that we are on track. But I think we still have unfinished business and agenda there. And I think for the next 2 years, our focus is completely on emerging as the number 1 operator across security, cash and FM in India.
Wonderful. All the best, Rituraj. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for your time.
Well, with that, it's a wrap of this episode of Inspirational Brands Make in India. Hope you enjoyed exploring the journey of SIS Group. We'll be back next time with another inspiring tale of business success. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.